Well, hello, everybody. Thank you again for joining us for yet another edition of the Lives and Lessons Learned of 100 Christians. Today, we're doing somebody named Harriet Beecher Stowe, a name you might be familiar with. She was born June 14th in 1811 in Litchfield, Connecticut, the seventh of 9 children in a devoutly religious family. Her father, Lyman Beecher, was a prominent preacher and educator, and her mother was a cultured woman who died when Harriet was only 5 years old. Raised by her stepmother and older sister, Harriet grew up in a household steeped in intellectual rigor and Christian reformist zeal. At age 6, she memorized 27 hymns and 2 chapters of the Bible, reflecting the family's emphasis on spiritual disciplines. Educated at the Litchfield Female Academy and later at the Hartford Female Seminary, founded by Catherine, I think it was her sister, Harriet developed a love for writing and debate, excelling in composition. By age 12, by her father's encouragement to use her pen to influence the world that shaped her early ambitions. All right. In 1832, at age 21, she moved with her family to Cincinnati, Ohio, where Lyman, her father, became president of Lane Theological Seminary. Cincinnati was a bustling city near the slave-holding South, and that exposed her to the realities of slavery through debates at Lane and her visits to Kentucky plantations. She joined the Semicolon Club, a literary salon, honing her writing skills alongside future husband Calvin Ellis Stowe. A widowed professor, she married in 1836. The couple faced financial struggles and the loss of their 7th child, Samuel, to the cholera epidemic, which deepened Harriet's empathy for enslaved mothers separated from their children. Milestones and achievements. Her literary career began modestly with short stories and essays in publications. Her first book, Primary Geography for Children, was educational, but her fame exploded with Uncle Tom's Cabin. Initially serialized in 1851 in the abolitionist newspaper National Era, the novel sold 10,000 copies in its first week, and as a book, and 300,000 within a year, becoming the best-selling novel of the 19th century in the United States, inspired by the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, which mandated the return of escaped slaves, and Josiah Senson's 1849 slave narrative. The novel depicted the horrors of slavery through characters like Uncle Tom. It galvanized Northern abolitionist sentiment, and it was translated into 60 languages and sparked the international stage for adaptations, though Stowe earned little from the unauthorized dramatizations. Southern critics denounced it as exaggerated, prompting Stowe to publish A Key to Uncle Tom's Cabin in 1853, a nonfiction defense with documented slave accounts. Her personal life and relationships. Again, she married Calvin Stowe in 1836, a supportive but financially strained union that produced 7 children. The loss of Samuel, as mentioned, in 1849, and Henry's drowning in 1857 deepened her understanding of grief that informed her writing. Calvin, a biblical scholar, encouraged her literary pursuits, famously calling her the little woman who wrote the book that made this great Civil War. After Calvin's retirement, the couple moved to Hartford, Connecticut, living near Mark Twain. Harriet remained active, writing and lecturing until her death. Her health declined in the 1880s. She died on July 1st, 1896, at age 85 in Hartford. Her legacy endures through the Harriet Beecher Stowe Center, which was established in 1941. All right, life lessons and philosophy. Stowe's life, from a preacher's daughter to a global literary force, embodies the power of moral conviction and storytelling to drive social change. Her Christian faith tempered by personal loss and exposure to slavery's brutality, shaped her belief that empathy could awaken consciousnesses. That's it. In Uncle Tom's Cabin, she wrote, quote, "There is one thing that every individual can do. They can see to it that they feel right," urging readers to align emotions with justice. Her letters and essays reveal a philosophy rooted in action, compassion, and resilience despite criticism and her own personal hardships. So the lessons: use your voice for justice. Stowe believed writing was a divine calling to expose wrongs. She saw Uncle Tom's Cabin as painted from the heart to move readers to action, proving one story can shift public opinion. Empathy fuels change. Her portrayal of enslaved families suffering, informed by her own losses, emphasized shared humanity. She wrote, "The Negro is a child of God, and as such our brother." Empathy, she argued, bridges divides. Faith guides action. Stowe evolved toward a practical Christianity, urging believers to live out love and justice. She wrote, "The kingdom of God is within you. Act like it." That's good. Her faith sustained her through criticism and loss. Another lesson: persevere amid opposition. Facing Southern backlash and personal attacks, she stood firm, using the book A Key, like I mentioned, to substantiate her claims. She taught that truth requires courage. She wrote, when you get into a tight place, hold on. Education empowers, influenced by her sister. She championed education for women and the marginalized, believing knowledge fosters agency. Her support for schools and suffrage reflected this. Last thing, family as strength. Despite her losses, she drew resilience from her family. Family's shared reformist spirit. Her collaborative marriage and sibling bonds modeled mutual support. She wrote, "We rise or fall together." All right, thanks so much. Take care. Oh, Harriet Beecher Stowe was also a descendant of Harry Chapin, who we talked, no, not Harry Chapin, Samuel Chapin. We did Deacon Sam last week, I think it was. So, and again, another relative of Nicole. All right, take care. God bless. Bye.